everybody. I am back again today. I finally finished my work day and was able to get a little comfortable. So I figured I would come and chit chat with you all for a little while. It has been a crazy few days. I think that last conversation that I had up here about manifesting negativity, that has really done something to me. Like, I've really been thinking a lot about that lately and how maybe my own thoughts are bringing things into fruition. Maybe I am not necessarily manifesting negativity, but that I am contributing to negative effects coming my way. And I think it's like more of an emotional thing, or my thoughts are influencing how I am behaving. That is how I'm thinking it is. And I think it was yesterday I was thinking about how what we consume influences our outlook on things. So, me, I look at a whole variety of things on YouTube, like all over the place. I watch a little bit of everything. And I gravitate toward things that are, I won't say they're negative, but they are either heart wrenching or sad or sometimes inspirational, though, which I like that. But I gravitate toward things that make me feel, I don't want to say scared, but sometimes down. And I'm wondering if maybe I should change what I am consuming, what I'm taking into my brain on a daily basis. And it's all different kinds of content. It's lifestyle, which me personally, I gravitate more toward frugal lifestyles or even people that are in a struggle. I gravitate toward that because I have been through that and I feel a connection to it. So I know a lot of people watch folks that have flashy cars and flashy homes and flashy stuff and all this material wealth that does not even remotely draw me in. I may glance, I may watch for a little bit, but it just doesn't, because I don't really relate to that. I'm pretty plain Jane, and I would definitely say I'm not materialistic. I don't aspire to have a lot of things. As I get older, things mean less and less to me. Of course, I will go and buy stuff like everyone else does, but overall, I'm not drawn to material stuff. It doesn't do it for me. And I watch a lot of finance content. I'm always gravitated toward people who are working with a lower income budget because I find that people are more creative with how they spend their money. They give me a lot of ideas and weapons in my arsenal for if I ever face a difficult time. I might think about something that somebody did. It may inspire me to do the same or whatever. But I know that I gravitate toward things that sometimes can be negative. I will watch someone and they may be in a bad way and they may be down, and I'm over here cheering like, you can do it, you can do it. But they may be focused on the negative in that moment, and they have every right to be. But I take all of that in, and I don't know if that's a good thing. I think some is a good thing, but maybe not all. Maybe I'm too all encompassed. I watch a lot of doom and gloom stuff. I watch a lot of the world is gonna go crazy and we're gonna be in World War III, and these are all things we cannot control. There's nothing we can do about it. If that does happen, what can you do? Absolutely nothing about it. And I will fixate and worry on things like that, only to think about it like, well, if that did happen, what the heck could I do to stop it? Nothing. So I think I'm going to make it a mission to limit the things that I watch that may trigger certain things in me, certain emotion in me. To, I don't know, curtail the negative part, kind of block a little bit of it, because I found that with these crazy times that we're in, that I am constantly on edge. And I know that, everybody has a reason to be a little shaky right now. This is not the best of times. But I don't want to live like that for extended periods of time. We're not meant to live like that for long periods of time, because you kind of have to get to a point where you realize these are the things I can change. These are the things I can't. And all I can do is do the best I can, be the best me that I can be for this season. And some seasons last a little while, some last a long time. But as long as you're always striving and pushing forward for better and trying to be there for people when you can, just don't think there's much more that I can give. And sometimes I'll be quite honest with you. Sometimes I go down my timeline and I'm like, man, this is the most depressing timeline that anybody has ever seen. It's like, it's so sad. It's like, why do I consume this every day and then think that I'm going to be cheery the next day? There is no freaking way that you would look at my timeline and be like, oh man, this person's just full of positive energy and happiness. I don't know why I do that. I'm going to stop speaking that into my being, speaking those negative things. I'm constantly calling myself weird when really that's not the case. But I think that because I've been called that so many times, that I just preemptively call myself weird, so that if somebody else says I'm weird, that it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? It's kind of a defense thing. And I need to stop doing that. I need to stop speaking things into myself. And this is a lesson for everyone. Stop speaking things into yourself that aren't necessarily true as a defense mechanism, because you start to evolve and you behave in the manner that you're speaking into yourself. If I speak into myself that I'm crazy, I may do things that are out of the norm because, well, everybody thinks I'm crazy anyway, I might as well do it. Or if I speak into myself, I'm in poverty, I'm going to stay in poverty, then I'm most likely going to make moves in my life that align with what I already think of myself. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. I think sometimes we have to speak a positive or good spin of ourselves to ourselves, because we are listening to ourselves. We are behaving in the manner that we're telling ourselves that we are in a lot of cases. And so I just got a lot to work on. It's like all these thoughts. Excuse me for the rambling, by the way. It's just, I think of these things and I sit around and I ponder and I'll read some books on it, and I'll just, all these thoughts just come into play, and I'm trying to figure them out. I'm trying to see how to be a better person, not so much brought down by baggage of the past and mistakes that I've made, and trying to be so far from the mistakes that you've made. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I am. I will harp on myself for any bad decision I made or mistakes I made. And I'm striving every day to be so far from what that was. Why? Mistakes actually make you better. They actually can be a building block for improvement. They actually can be a positive thing, because even the people that have done some of the most amazing things in our society made many, many a mistake before they got to that glorious ending. And I don't think we think about that a lot. I think we just think about, oh, I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm not that person anymore. And you may not be that person anymore. But that doesn't mean that that point in your life didn't add some value to you, didn't add some kind of knowledge or understanding, wisdom for the future. It's added something to you and built something into your character. It can be bad things, it can be good things. Like, I know that I've taken some really bad parts from the things that I've been through. The skepticism, the not trusting people, the kind of standoffish kind of person that I am is probably come from some of the situations that I've gone through. And it's just like, as long as I block myself in my little shell, I don't have to worry about anybody doing anything to cause me any issues. So that is something that I think we all do. We all build defense mechanisms to keep people from hurting us or to keep them from getting close enough to cause problems. And I think I'm like an expert at that. But at the same time, I'm really, really super soft hearted. So when I see someone going through something that I've experienced or see somebody going through something that I have personally either witnessed or gone through, I'm immediately like my heart just opens. It just, I just want to help and be there and like, oh, what can I do for you? But that is all not always good either, because everybody doesn't mean you well. Everybody doesn't mean you any good. Some people would use that for the bad. They would take advantage of you for their own benefit. And I have been highly susceptible to that. So it's like a blessing and a curse, because it's like when your heart is open, you'll do anything for anyone and you want, but then at the same time, you can get stomped on. And then that part makes you cold and hard. And I don't want to be that way. But I know that I am in a lot of areas of my life. And, those are things that just need to be improved upon. We're always a work in progress. Like, you never get to the point where you can't grow and you can't learn something new. So, I don't know. That's just what's been on my mind. And I'm sorry for the rambling, you guys, but it was just something that just hit me today, that I need to start to soak in more positive content, whether it's books or YouTube, or I don't really do a whole lot of other social media, but stuff like that. I need to take in some positivity, because when you pour just all that negative on top of negative on top of negative, it makes you Debbie Downer. You're just always looking for the worst. And it's not something that I want to be moving forward, or it's something that I want to evolve from being, because I've always been that way. So it's something that I want to evolve to be better than that, to see the glass half full, if you will. Not always like, yeah, it's empty and the glass is broken. And it's like the most horrid of circumstances. Yeah, try to take in something positive and try to see what you can glean that is positive out of a situation, what you can take out of that may just be a nugget, may not be much, just a speck, just a little grain of salt of positivity, but there's something in it, even if it's a lesson learned. And also, don't beat yourself up all the time. If you're like me, where you're just constantly at yourself, stop it, man. You are going to run yourself crazy trying to never make a mistake, never do this, never, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want anybody to look at me. Or who's looking at me? What are they thinking about me? Don't do that to yourself. Please take a lesson from me. It just beats you. It just beats you down. Don't do that. But that's really all I wanted to talk about today. And I know it's just a rambling conversation, but it's just something to think about, something to consider. Those are the things that I'm pondering this week, and how I can be better in that aspect and grow. Definitely won't be changing overnight. Probably won't change 90% of it. But even if it's 10% better, I'll take it. That's positive. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye.